Hey guys, it's me, Miss Norris, and today I'd like to share a fun read aloud with you of the story Tyrone and the Swamp Gang. The story Tyrone and the Swamp Gang was written in 1995 by Hans Wilhelm, and it tells the story of Tyrone, who's kind of the first bully, and all of the other dinosaurs who try to save the day. If you're ready to hear the story, I'm ready to share it with you. Here we go. Tyrone and the Swamp Gang. You can see that they all have a lot of them have these red headbands, but some of them don't. And we'll find out more about that inside. You can see that the Swamp Gang with their red headbands are looking for someone, and someone is trying to be very quiet and is hiding. It had been a bad year at school for Boland. He was down to 3 friends, Terry, Stego, and Stella. They did not even have enough players for a mean game of meteorite soccer. Almost everybody else had joined the Swamp Gang. The leader was Boland's worst enemy. The leader was Boland's worst enemy, who was none other than dun 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 Tyrone, or Tyrone the Horrible, as he liked to be called. Tyrone was the world's first bully, and Boland was his favorite victim. Look, someone without a bandana! Tyrone laughed and grabbed hold of Boland. Why haven't you and your wimpy friends joined the Swampies yet, you little shrimp? Because we still have our brains, said Boland. Oh, yeah, said Tyrone. Well, remember, we've got ways to make you join. We're the greatest. Says who? Boland asked. Says me! And what I say goes. Tyrone walked off with a nasty laugh. Ha 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 ha. So, almost all of the kids have joined the Swampies, except for Boland and his 3 friends here. And Tyrone continues to pick on Boland. And he says that you better join this gang or we're going to give you a real hard time. And Boland's still trying to stick up for himself. He doesn't want to join them. But Tyrone says we have ways. Maybe we should just join the Swampies, Stego said. Otherwise, Tyrone will make our lives miserable. Join those morons? Cried Boland. Are you nuts? We have better things to do than follow that bully. Maybe he isn't so bad underneath, Stego said. Maybe we could all become friends. Friends don't force others to do things they don't want to do, Boland pointed out. Don't you even like their cool bandanas? Stella asked Boland. Everybody's wearing them now. And the Swampies always look like they're having lots of fun, Terry added. What fun? Boland said. I only see them knuckling under to Tyrone. So the other Boland's other friends are saying maybe we should just do it. Maybe we should just become a Swampy. And Boland says the only thing that they seem to be doing is wearing bandanas and then doing whatever Tyrone wants them to do. And that's not what Tyrone wants to, and that's not what Boland wants to do. One of the things Tyrone and his Swampies did for fun was to play practical jokes. That night, for instance, they poured tons of soap powder into the public fountain. Before the sun came up, the joke had turned into a big, messy, bubbly surprise for the whole neighborhood. So you see all the Swampies. They have their boxes of soap. It's nighttime. They're being sneaky. They put their soap in the fountain. And when the neighbors wake up, there's going to be bubbles and mess everywhere. But the real surprise came when Principal B.C. Scatterbone came to see the class the next morning. B.C. Scatterbone had rotten eyesight, but a perfect nose. He could smell a rat from 1,000 dinosaur feet away. "I trust none of you reptilian angels is responsible for that mess," he said. He smiled a sickly smile that showed all his sharp yellow teeth. "So," he continued, "I know you are all eager to clean up the fountain. I will personally supervise your efforts." So, B.C. Scatterbone is their principal, and he says, "I know you guys didn't have anything to do with it. None of you. But we're going to all work together to clean this up anyways." Do you think that's what Tyrone and the Swampies intended? To make a mess and have to clean it up? Everybody was stunned and angry. Even the Swampies, although they tried hard to look cool and innocent. The gang's morale was so low that Tyrone called an emergency meeting. "We have to hit back," he said, "and I know how." So Tyrone didn't like having to clean up this mess, and he's called an emergency meeting. He says, "We have to do something bad, and we need to do it now, and I have an idea." I'm glad they're cleaning everything up, though. Tyrone told his plan to the gang. "We'll give old Scatterbone's house a new coat of paint," he said. "That will make his eyes go gaga. But we've got to be quick and quiet and not get caught." "Right on!" cried the Swampies. Armed with paint and spray cans, they went to work, full blast. So Tyrone says Tyrone's idea is to paint graffiti all over B.C. Scatterbone's house. And they have to be quick and quiet and not get caught. And so they all go to work painting someone's house. Would you like it if someone came and scribbled on your house? Scribbled with paint? I would not. And I don't think Scatterbone likes it either. But the real blast came the next morning. Once again, B.C. Scatterbone greeted the class. "Thanks to some anonymous helpers, my house has received a new look during the night. Since I'm sure that none of you likes the colors or the designs, you will only be too happy to repaint my entire house from top to bottom." "Rats," said some of the kids. This was the second time they were getting blamed for something that they didn't do. The Swampies grumbled the loudest of all. Their joke had backfired again. "Maybe Tyrone's ideas aren't really so great," one whispered to another. "What do you mean?" Tyrone cut in. "Somebody must have squealed on us, and I think I know who it was." So, B.C. Scatterbone says, "I don't think any of you guys like these designs on my house either, so you're going to come and paint them. Paint my whole house from top to bottom." And everyone's kind of mad, even the Swampies. And now the Swampies are saying, "Well, maybe Tyrone's ideas aren't great." But Tyrone heard him, and he's, "What is that? What are you saying?" "I think I know who tattled on us." Boland could not believe he was in trouble again. "I didn't squeal! I didn't squeal!" he cried. How else did Scatterbone know it was us? Tyrone demanded. I don't know, said Boland. Maybe you just can't fool him. He can smell out anything. Okay, Tyrone said. I'll let you off this time. Tonight we're gonna fix old Scatterbone once and for all. What are you gonna do? Boland asked. None of your business! You stay out of it, you hear? Or else you can collect your bones at the Museum of Natural History! Boland was scared. So Boland didn't tattle on the Swampies. I'm pretty sure BC Scatterbone just is pretty smart. But Tyrone says we're going to do something else to Scatterbone, and if you tattle, I'm going to put all your bones in the Museum of Natural History. And Boland is scared. He's like, he's getting in trouble now for something he didn't do. So if Tyrone really thinks he did something, he's really going to give him a hard time. But not too scared. That night, Boland spied on Tyrone and the Swampies. He saw them dumping a large load of burning lava rocks in front of BC Scatterbone's house. Dun, dun, dun. So, lava rocks in front of someone's house on the ground could be pretty dangerous. Boland heard Tyrone whisper, "Heh, that will give old Scatterbone a hot surprise when he steps out tomorrow morning." Boland ran for help as fast as he could. He got Stella, Terry, and Stego out of bed and told them what had happened. Then he said, Tyrone and his Swampies have gone crazy this time. This prank could really hurt somebody. Lava rocks are dangerous stuff. They could even burn the place down. We've got to work fast before Scatterbone wakes up. So he's not just going to tattle on Tyrone, but he's going to help because, as he said, this is not just a prank. This could hurt somebody. This is not funny. The four friends carefully loaded all the glowing rocks into the wheelbarrow. They worked as quietly as possible. Soon, the danger was over. Let's clean up and leave no trace of the lava rocks, whispered Boland. I can't wait to see Tyrone's face in the morning when old Scatterbone comes to school alive and well as usual. No need to wait until morning, said a sinister voice behind them. So Boland and his friends cleaned up all the lava rocks, and they said, we're going to be glad to see Tyrone's face when nothing happens to Scatterbone. But then they heard a voice behind them that said, why wait? It was Tyrone. You lousy traitor! Tyrone growled and grabbed Boland by the throat. I'm gonna get you for this! Wait, Tyrone, Stella cried. He was only trying to keep you from making a big mistake. You keep out of this, said Tyrone. Suddenly, they all heard a sharp click. Now, I don't know what that click is, but Stella's trying to say, you know what, Tyrone, you probably could have gotten in some big, bad, nasty trouble for this. We were only trying to keep you out of trouble. And then Tyrone yells, but remember, they're at someone's house in the middle of the night. They have to be very quiet. The door handle turned and the door creaked open. Tyrone was so startled that he jumped straight up. Boink! He knocked his head against the branch of a tree. In the next moment, he came crashing down. So when the door handle started turning, Tyrone got spooked. He jumped up. He hit his head on this branch. I want you to look. at this picture carefully, what do you think is going to happen next? I'm going to give you just a second to look at this picture and to think about it. Okay, you ready? He came crashing down right on top of the hot and glowing lava rocks. Oh! He cried so loud that he woke up the entire swamp forest. Oh! He cried again as he struggled to his feet. Then he ran away as fast as he could. This time, his prank had backfired in more ways than one. So he landed in the wheelbarrow full of lava rocks, and as you can see, he burned his tush and is running away screaming because his prank where he wanted Scatterbone to get hurt backfired, and instead of Scatterbone getting hurt, Tyrone did. For several weeks after that, Tyrone could not sit down in class. Suddenly, all the red bandanas disappeared. The former Swampies were not eager to dress like Tyrone anymore. After all, Tyrone had to wear one of those comfy little diapers until he was well again. Who wanted to be like him now? Nobody. But this is the first time that we can see that Tyrone is feeling a little sad and not quite so mean. But you can see all the headbands are gone and no one is in the Swampy Gang anymore. The end. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you really enjoyed the story of Tyrone and the Swamp Gang. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button at the bottom of the page. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. If you're not a subscriber yet, please click that subscribe button down there at the bottom of the page. And don't forget to click a bell so that you're notified when there's new content. I hope to see you all again real soon. Bye-bye.